right, guys, I'm back from my vacation. It was great. It was much needed. A lot of good stuff happened. Of course, as Curtis is wont to get, is some curveballs, but overall, it was fantastic. So I'm back, and it was some really good stories, or interesting stories that popped up. Really wanted to touch on them. I need a break. So I'm going to cover that stuff here now because I still think it's germane. It still matters. I'm going to get into the Hill supposedly turning over a new leaf. The leaf rotted within a day or two, and he had a bunch of things. We got to be clear about this. I'm going to get into that. Jonnu Smith, a shocker. I was very surprised about that, but I think fans maybe fixated on the wrong stuff about the Jonnu queries for a trade. And then obviously Ramsey, maybe he gets traded today. Today's the day he can get traded. I don't know if he will be traded. So if he does get traded, maybe this will change. Well, definitely will change some stuff. And I'll do an addendum later on. So that's going to be the coverage for today, guys. I missed you guys. I really did. I enjoyed the dialogue. I even got on the Twitter for a little bit and emailed some people. I guess it was like the Shakes or something. I was getting DTs on football and conversing with people I like. So that would be that. I'm going to change some things around here a little bit. I have some ideas. Maybe it'll go over like a Led Zeppelin. Maybe it'll fly like Icarus, or maybe it'll go to the moon. We'll see. I'm going to start implementing them over the next week or two. I'm going to do an editorial where I just talk about things and discuss with the people who want to show up on Thursday night. I'm going to do my live again, Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Come check me out there. I'm going to talk about the things I've been thinking about, just letting you see what I'm thinking. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be right, because it's going to come from more of my heart than really the evaluations. But I'm obviously going to have evaluations in there as well. So that will be the live then. So I'll get into it. But guys, the likes, subscribes, the comments, and the views, all that stuff keeps me in the biz, keeps my sponsors happy. I think I'm coming back. No 100%. But it is what it is. I think so. I'm waiting for a definitive. So help me out with that if you can. I appreciate all you guys have done. I saw even, when I was on my break, comments, some nice comments. There's some great people. And that really makes the show worthwhile to me. I mean, I like the money and I like to do this, but I like good people even more. So thank you. Anyway, Hill, I think it was Omar Kelly saying, he's turned over a new leaf. And then we got two things from his social media. One, he was celebrating like a mock trade in some kind of like Madden thing, and he celebrated his trade. And then we heard on his little live thing or whatever, he wanted to punch Mike McDaniel out at one point for not getting a ball. Guys, Maya Angelou once said, believe someone when they show you who they are the first time. He's shown us again and again. He's a narcissist. He's selfish. He will never turn over a new leaf in short order. Hopefully, at some point in his life, he will. This guy's a narcissist. He's all about him. He occasionally plays the media to the good side, but you can see who this guy is. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to punch your coach out. I've wanted to do that. I've wanted to punch players out. Players have told me they want to punch me out. But when you go to the media in a critical phase like this, it shows that you have no understanding of what you're bringing to the optics of the overall thing. You're hurting McDaniel, making him look stupid. You're creating talk that doesn't need to happen. You're getting paid $30 million. You just quit on a team. Saying this shows that he is a narcissist, desensitized, and he has no way of controlling himself. It was stupid. It's what he does a lot of. The guy's super talented. Celebrating the trade, it's not a big deal. But when you pull all this together, this guy's a bonehead. Get rid of him. He is why he was traded by KC. They saw it. Greer didn't. Fans bought into it. I sort of did too. But you got to know. And I don't care how many of these big media guys are trying to gloss it over, because that's what's happening now. I talked about this weird shift in the media just before I went on break. There is going to be heavy suit hustle going forward. And anybody who's covering up Hills for who he really is not, they don't have your best interest in mind, and they're giving you swampland in Florida. Hill's got to go. He's a bum. He'll be gone at the end of the season. Maybe he'll produce, but this is not the kind of guy that you want on a team for this kind of money. So let's be clear. Let's not, he's back. Fans, we're all desperate. We want this guy to be great for us. We need it, but he's not. He's a great talent and a terrible human. Let's be clear on that. Now, Jonnu Smith trade, it was a shocker in a way. But people were saying, how can you trade Jonnu? Jonnu is like 30 years old or 31 years old. He's making $5 this year, 1 point something next year. And a team that's really looking to win now would never trade this guy. But I've told you, the real deal is we are rebuilding. 25 and 26 and 27 is our real operating year. He'll be like 32, 33. And if he has 2 good seasons, it's going to be super expensive to keep him this year and next. And some people are like, well, we have plenty of money. No, there's going to be a lot of dead money from Ramsey. There's going to be a lot of dead money from Hill. We're negative $10 million right now under below the cap. We've got 60 players on the roster next year, but most of them are guys you don't want to keep. We're still tight. We won't be free till 2027. And as much as I don't agree, that ain't changing, and that ain't time soon. Jonnu could fetch us something. And the money that he'd want, we could put into a sealer. We could put someplace else. Achan's going to want a big contract. We've got to build right. You've got to build in a process where everything kind of comes together at the right point. And we're not at a point of winning anything big this year. Maybe we'll shock. Maybe we'll surprise. But it's not going to be a surprise going to the Super Bowl, no matter how much people want it. It's just not. So if you can move Smith, who really, you go look at his plays. The guy's talented, but a lot of it was like screens, and those screens kind of got curtailed. He can't really block well. He's a good guy to have on your team, but not if he wants big money this year and next, and probably lock it into 27. No, we move him if you get a good price. If you get a good price, you can get a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick. It won't look good here, but if you take that 4th round pick, you could use that to trade up to get a very good player. Or you could find a good player in the 4th round that will be here for the long haul and have a cheaper contract. So I don't mind them trading him. What I do mind is the media hustle, along with the Dolphins, are trying to float people up to think this is the year we drafted really well and we're going to kick butt. Maybe, but the odds aren't there. They know where we're really at. The signal of them wanting to trade him is they know they're far off. And they're trying to build to something in the future, but they're not going to tell you that. And a lot of people in the media, and I'll talk about that on Thursday, they got a tough job. And they're trying to sell hope. I try to be accurate here, and it's hard sledding. It's very easy to say, hate and hope. You get way more clicks. These guys, they have to put out big numbers. We are in a rebuild. I've said it. I talked about way before anybody how 23 May was probably our end of our peak, and maybe 24 if we stretch it out. But then we're going to rebuild. We're in a rebuild. If he wants out and wants big money, you can get something good, another player, a younger player, even if he's a little bit less talented, that will be here for a while, then do it. I'm not down on the trade thing. I'm down on the fake hype. Ramsey, Chris Kaufman, as he's wanted to do, did a really good job. I've talked about it. He played 28 games. He made like 40 million. We gave a 3rd round pick. And of those 28 games, some of them very good. Some of them were pretty good. Some of them were bad. But he's 31-year-old cornerback who doesn't want to be here. We've got to move off him. He's not the right guy. He's kind of like a watered down Hill. He's selfish. He's not here for us. You need a team of guys, especially who are making this kind of money, to be certain type of guys like a Sealer or Tehran was. So Ramsey has got to go. I said I said we'd probably get like a 5th or a 4th round pick, and maybe they could add conditional amounts depending on how much money we can eat. We'll see what happens. I think a lot of teams are going to want us to eat a lot of the money. And out from 2 yards per carry said, look, it's not like other times in his career. He has a lot of guaranteed money locked up, and if he doesn't play right, they can get pulled from him. But even if we force him to play here, he could do a lot of stuff to kind of push it as far as he can to be a pain in the neck. And so it really is a hard situation between a rock and a hard place. We do have the leverage, but Ramsey just needs, my knee's swollen, I miss a game. You can't prove that kind of stuff. But he just can't go out and out like with the Jags and punch a guy and get totally crazy. But he's got to get moved. And we've got to flush down the past. It was a dead build. I'm hoping Greer's not the guy doing his 4th build because he sucks. I'm hoping it's Marvin Allen, but we've got to understand we had near unprecedented capital. Most of it's wasted and gone. We've got to get rid of all the dead weight and rebuild. This year and next year is a resetting of the foundation with hopefully 27 being the peak year. So he's going to probably go. Even if he doesn't go, he's going to probably have to play, but he won't be Mr. Nice Guy. And he will drag his feet and he will cause problems. So this is where we're at. Some people will say you're negative. But guys, I've been hearing I'm negative since 2021, like after, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the season. But my accuracy's been right. Negativity is saying something that is a negative, but it's not true. If you come in and you're on fire and I say, dude, you're on fire, you don't look at me and go, you're being negative. It's the truth. Guys don't understand that slander or negativity started in the Roman Empire. And the only way not to get in trouble through Roman law was truth. You could say a guy's got bat wings and he was drinking blood. If you prove it, it's not slander. Truth. I'm not always right, but I'm pretty darn accurate. This is not negative. It's the truth. And honestly, a lot of this stuff is positive because if we do this build right in 25 and we do this build right in 26, we'll probably be in a better situation than we've been in a long time despite the hype. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. It's a little one. I'm a little rusty, so I hope you bared with me. Come check me out Thursday on the live. There is real hope here, but it's not hopium. It's that they're setting the foundation right, hoping that Greer is going to be gone soon and somebody in the background is running the show. But if we get Paul to play right, if we get Grant to play right, we get the rest of these young Savayanaya to play right, that's an unbelievable draft. Probably one of the better drafts than we've had in a long, long, long time, especially if you add Phillips later on in the 5th round of this pick and other guys. So we've got to see how this draft plays out. If this draft sucks and these guys aren't what they're supposed to be, it's not good. But if it is the way we hope, it is good and the future has a chance to truly be bright because we're doing it right. Look at KC and Baltimore and the rest of these teams, how they've built. We've shifted our building model to be more like that. We still got to hit on these picks, but I think there is real hope, but it's not finalized, and we got to see. So get rid of Jonnu, get a pick for next year. Good pick, all right? Get rid of Hill next year. Maybe you can trade him for something. If not, just get him off the team. You have all that money, and get rid of Ramsey and get something for him and start setting this team up right internally, and then in 26, hit those picks, and then we can start talking about real hope. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.